Does President Trump believe that it was a good thing?
Just FYI, this segment is from just one of the many sessions that she had during Trump's administration. And she's being asked a very interesting question, and watch her facial expressions, watch how she handles herself, watch how she handles the answer to the question. And then we're going to watch how KJP handles some similar, maybe even more softball questions as well.
That the South lost the Civil War? And then two, is he interested in following NASCAR's example and banning the Confederate flag at his own events?
Well, your first question is absolutely absurd. He's proud of the United States of America. Second, with regard to our statues, Americans oppose tearing down our statues. There's a Harvard-Harris poll released just last week that shows 60% of respondents said the statues should remain, and 71% said local governments should block groups from physically destroying the statues. So he stands on the side of preserving our history.
Get married. Okay, so she was very, very quick to jump in and answer. It was short, it was sweet, and it was to the point. Now, let's watch KJP. And by the way, I tried to shorten this woman's response, and I couldn't because she just kept going. So let's watch.
You said gracious, cordial, substantive. The president obviously hit on a wide range of issues, but did he get a sense that the issues that he was impressing upon, that any advice he was giving was being well received?
I think so. I think that's why the president was wanting me to let you all know that there was a very good back and forth, and it was substantive, as I mentioned before, and I want to be mindful. It was a private conversation, so I don't want to go into specifics or details. But look, they met for more than 2 hours. They met for a very long time, or nearly 2 hours, pardon me. And I think by the length of the meeting tells you that they had an in-depth conversation on an array of issues. And so, look, the president reached out to the president-elect wanting to make sure that he gave an opportunity to the president-elect, afforded him that opportunity to have a meeting with him to talk about the different issues that matter to the American people.
Honestly, she keeps going. She hasn't stopped going. She's still answering the one question. Now, one of the things that I notice about the difference even in style is that, first and foremost, there is a difference in style between Kayleigh McEnany and KJP. She's obviously very relaxed and sort of conversational in how she answers. But to be really honest, like, as a press secretary, this doesn't work. And it hasn't worked the entire time that she has been the White House press secretary. And when you butt her up against somebody like Kayleigh, who's to the point, bam, let's go, it just looks really cringy. A lot of the ums and wells, and she's not done. She's not done.
But nearly 2 hours says a lot about how the meeting went.
Any plans to keep a line of communication open?
The president is always going to obviously keep that line of communication open to the president-elect. We got to remember, this is not about the two presidents. This is not about President Biden or President-elect Trump. This is about the American people and what's right for the American people. And if anything, the president has led by example, right, over the last week now on making sure that we have this cordial transition.
Yeah. Okay. So there's the difference. That was for me more than probably any of you. Some of you may be feeling similar to me, which is like, hallelujah, we get a different White House press secretary. Let's go. Because I'm one of those weirdos that actually watches the press briefings like every other day or so as they come out. And watching her long responses to fairly simple questions often, is cringeworthy. There's also a lot of compilations out there, you should go watch them, of her getting like blatantly offended and taking things personally. And I think that's pretty damaging of a White House press secretary, because it's not about you. You're literally just the voice communicating the things that the president wants you to communicate, and do it with the least amount of damage possible to the administration. And if you're taking things personally and being, oh, I'm so offended, I can't tell you how many times that happens. That's a problem, because you're not supposed to take things personally. That doesn't look good at all by any means for the face of the administration, often even more so than the president of the United States, which is the White House press secretary. So kind of excited that we are going to be getting somebody else, and who knows who that will be. I've heard some rumblings, but y'all, we're going to find out. We're going to see. If you liked this video and you want more, you're in luck. This is one small segment to a show I do every single Friday here on the channel at 3:30 p.m. EST. You can watch the full version of this episode over here on the screen, or you can subscribe to the full channel and get notifications of every Friday show, the segments that come out during the week, as well as podcasts and other topical content that we put out here just for you on the channel, free of access, so that you can engage with really relevant topics and really relevant things that are happening in the world from a biblical perspective. Would love to see you join the community here on the channel.